So, do you remember the story of when I was, one morning I got up and it was like 4, and I was in the meditation hall, right? So I had to open the door to let people in. And people could come in early to make the coffee, etc. So there was one morning I got up and it was cold. And I was in a bad mood. I don't know why it was. And I got up and got out of bed and drugged myself, put on my pants, because I had to get to the door to let whoever it was in, maybe it was Dan, to make the coffee. And suddenly there was this thought, what's the point of this? Well, what's the point of it? And really, right, so just connected to that thought. The next one was, these people aren't getting it. We've been doing this for years. They're not getting it. They aren't getting it. They're never going to get it. What's the point of wasting your time doing this? And I was kind of like, I guess maybe in a little bit of a mean mood. And when I had that thought, suddenly there was the, keep calmly knowing change. Suddenly there was knowing. It wasn't a thought, but there was that idea, what's the point of this? And then came the knowing, that's your mind. Oh my God. It's sort of like, really, I can't imagine standing on a stage and receiving an Emmy or a Grammy or an Academy. It was a moment that was so sterling, I cannot tell you. Because, in other words, something absolutely, what I call the wedge, it was a moment of absolute clarity. That's your mind, stupid. And that's where that slogan came from. I didn't think of that immediately, right? But so here's this thought. What's the point of this? And it's kind of juicy, right? You could really start chewing on that strawberry, right? Or that banana. What's the point of it? And then you could start saying, I'm a real failure in life. And I cannot tell you the number of clients who've come to me and sat down, right, and said, what's the point of this? Right? People who are therapists have heard this. So we give it power because we don't acknowledge the presence of the mind. We don't acknowledge it. We don't acknowledge that there is a mind that is causing this arm to move, that is talking. We don't acknowledge it. We are relentlessly opposed to that idea. I promise you. And if you think that you're not, I'm going to spit in your face. That's what a Zen teacher would do. I'm going to become a Zen teacher, I think. We relentlessly fight acknowledging it's your mind. And yet it's the only way out of the trap. You can't get out otherwise. You can go slowly through like a Vipassana practice of noting. That will work. But it was a remarkable moment. I remember Lois having I think she sat over there. And oh my God. And so I talked a lot that retreat, and it just pissed her off. She got mad because I was talking to her. Now, can you imagine getting angry with me? Can you imagine that? Someone as nice as I am, who's never really said a mean thing to anyone in his life. So, but she was really pissed off. And I've told Lois before that I love that because it most reminded me of Corrine, our dear Corrine, who's passed away. Corrine would just come to me and she'd say, quit talking during the silent meditation. She would get very angry with me. So Lois got very angry, and I could not tell this nearly as well as she, but she really just got kind of interested in that anger because she was really angry, and so she really started investigating. Well, where is it? Is it in my belly? Right? Is that where it is? Is it in my chest? In my throat? She had a moment exactly like Victor's moment of what's the point of this, when there was this knowing that it was the mind. She had that same moment. It's tremendous insight. And I say this, I have sadness in my heart as I'm saying this, because I don't know that Lois has ever had another experience that profound. I mean, maybe some other ones, but it's so profound. And so it's possible that a few of you have never had that experience. I'm saying that. It's possible that you've never had, because when you have it, it's amazing. I mean, to suddenly see that it is the mind that is absolutely causing everything. The Buddha says, it's a wonderful thing. He says, it's your mind, I'm paraphrasing. I'm going to really paraphrase it. I'm going to rip it. It's your mind that gets you in this doo-doo. And it is only your mind that will get you out. It's amazing, right? It's the mind that causes this whole mess that we're in. And yet, ironically, it's also the only way out. It's through the mind. You ain't going to get out unless you're willing to look at it and try to see it. So, Ramakrishna said something so wonderful. He said, if you've got a thorn, let's say in your leg, sometimes the only way to get that thorn out is to take another thorn. And then you throw both of them away, right? You have a thorn, so you take a thorn, and you use that thorn to get rid of it. That's my understanding of what the Buddha is saying, or Bodhidharma. The mind has to work with the mind. The mind is the thorn in our side, but it is also the mind that removes the thorn.